Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to my channel. Today's session is going to play pivotal role in your life if you learn a wide range of vocabulary. Why I'm saying so? The reason being is that today I'm going to discuss with you how to share your opinions, especially talking about your likes and dislikes. Each individual has his or her own likes and dislikes. So we use colloquial language, some informal phrases that can actually destroy the real meaning that I wish to convey in my sentences. So let us learn first of all what are the best phrases and the highest, I can say that high band fetching vocabulary that can benefit you immensely if you learn and apply it in a systematic manner, or I would say you apply it without mistakes. Okay, so let us start the discussion. So again, I welcome you. The topic that I want to discuss you here with you is vocabulary vocabulary on like and dislike. So if you say that likes and dislikes, liking and disliking, so this actually means the same. So the first phrase here is that is a strong preference. A strong preference. We generally use this phrase or some words in our sentences like that. I prefer to stay alone. Correct? She prefers to stay in isolation. Something like that. So if I talk about preference, I can say that she has a strong preference for Italian food. Rather saying food, I can also say that she has a strong preference for Italian or maybe Chinese cuisine. So please note that as and when you give your opinion, especially you are showing your preference. Rather saying preference for, you should say that a strong preference for. I have a strong preference for Indian cuisines. Okay, I can also say like this. I have a strong preference for mouth-watering local cuisines. Like that. So it completely depends on you. How do you use this phrase? This is absolutely natural. Okay, so what the phrase is? A strong preference. Please do not forget that you are using a preposition. A strong preference for. I prefer to. Please understand the prepositions also. Next phrase here is particular liking. This actually has almost same meaning. If I say that she has a particular liking for, she has a particular liking for dash dash dash. So that means you can write any word there. She has a particular liking for Italian food. She has a particular liking for Indian food. Whatever you want to say, it's up to you. Okay? A particular liking. Actually, it means the same, a strong preference. But yes, if I'm having these two options, I will be using the first one. First one is better and it will help me to get a better score. Of course, it looks like more natural. It's more natural. Next one is highest reward. So as in when I use this phrase, highest reward. So what will be your sentence? Please think about it. Suppose if I feel like that, the highest reward for the teacher is, the people may have a different preferences, or I can say that they have strong preferences for, of course, depending on their mindset. But for me as a teacher, I would say that the highest reward for me is a marked improvement in your communication skills. A marked improvement in your communication skills. This is the highest reward. So that means I will feel like that I have been rewarded highly by the God if I'm able to help you to improve your communication skills. Okay, so it matters. Sometimes the people may have some highest rewards in monetary terms. So it depends on the mindset. Again, it entirely depends what actually gives you mental satisfaction. For me, it's all about my passion that helps me to help others in improving their communication skills. Okay, so what did we learn here? Highest reward. So what did I say? The highest reward for a teacher is dash dash dash. The highest reward for me being a teacher is to have a marked improvement in your communication skills. Next phrase here is an intense dislike of. An intense dislike means an extreme level of dislike. If I use this phrase in my sentence, for example, she has an intense dislike of. She has an intense dislike of appearing for exams. So that means she doesn't like it at all. So she's totally against it, or that may be a temporary part of emotion, or maybe permanent part of emotion. I may not be able to determine here. Okay, but it depends in what context you're using this phrase. So the phrase here is an intense dislike of. She has an intense dislike of dash dash dash. He has an intense dislike of dash 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 dash. So like that you can make your sentence. Okay. Next one here is the deep-rooted hatred. Hatred again means an extreme dislike. Hatred means, what did I say? An extreme dislike. But I'm using one phrase here that is, it's basically a hyphenated word, deep rooted. So I'm saying that the deep rooted hatred. The deep rooted hatred in a society is caused by antisocial elements. Correct? So here I need to understand that how I'm going to use. If I say that deep rooted, so that means it's quite old. So that means it's not a new phenomenon. It has been in existence since ages. So it is generally done by some people, those who do not want to see a society with the people living in peace. Am I right? They're against a brotherhood. So if it happens, I can say that the deep-rooted hatred, or she made the deep-rooted hatred statements. You can use it in a way you like. Okay. So if I say that deep-rooted hatredness in the society is caused by, the deep-rooted hatredness in the society is caused by antisocial elements. This is absolutely fine. You can use it in your sentences or somewhere where you are expressing your ideas or sharing opinions with others. Next phrase here is get great enjoyment. Why I'm putting get here? Because I wanted you to learn that as and when you are using great enjoyment in a sentence, if you are using this verb, it will make your sentence more natural. Okay, for example, visiting this park, visiting this park gets me visiting this park gets me great enjoyment. So in a way you can use it. Okay, so depending on a sentence, you can also use a pronoun in between. So it totally depends on a sentence structure that you actually want to make for you. Okay, please note that these are the phrases or the natural phrases I'm sharing with you. Again, you have to decide in what context you want to use. If you have still doubt in your mind, you can directly drop me a message. My WhatsApp number is also available here: 72020999496. Okay, but please understand that what does it mean by, first of all, of using these phrases in this session. I want you to have natural vocabulary. I want you to speak with fluency. But my dear friends, fluency alone doesn't matter for me. The thing that matters for me is the direction of the speech. So you should be in the right direction as and when you speak language. If you're in the wrong direction, you're speaking fluently, I don't think so that you can be given a good score as per Cambridge parameters. Am I right? So let us not look into the quantity, let us have a more analysis of the quality. Quality matters more than quantity here. Okay. So next phrase I wanted to discuss with you is the sheer enjoyment of. The sheer actually means great. If I say that the sheer enjoyment of, that means the great enjoyment of the journey was. The great enjoyment, the sheer enjoyment of the trip was. What was that? You can make it. You can make it at your own. But this is a phrase. If you really want to use it, like uh, we get or I get great enjoyment after sitting with my friends. Correct? So similarly, you can also use this one. What was the phrase? Sheer enjoyment. Sheer, CSH. This is SHEER. Sheer enjoyment. Okay? It actually means great enjoyment, means enjoyment in to a great extent. Enjoyment to the great extent. Next phrase here is an ardent fan of, or a determined fan of. Is it determined or determined? I hope you will be thinking it again. I've already checked it many times. This is not determined, this is determined in both British accent and American accent. So I would say that a determined fan of, an ardent fan of. He's an ardent fan of dash dash dash. You can name anyone. Am I right? It is not always necessary that only a cricketer or a footballer can be a fan. You can also be a fan of a teacher, a person who gives you life skills. Am I right? It does not only mean that something that makes you feel great enjoyment can only be a thing that can become, that can actually you can fall into love with that. But somewhere, if something helps you to improve yourself in the long run, of course you should become a fan of that. I'm not saying you become fan of me. I'm saying indirectly, but I wanted to say that better you become fan of dash dash dash. something that helps you to learn in your life, that has a positive impact throughout your life. Is it clear? Now you have two options. Either you are going for short term objectives or you are going with the long term objectives. If your long term goals in the life, of course, life skills are going to play, it's going to play pivotal role. Is it pivotal or pivotal? It's pivotal. Pivotal. Pivotal means a significant role here. Okay. So let us continue with that. If I say that I'm an ardent fan of dash dash dash, I can take the name of my faculty, my teacher, someone who inspired me, who actually inspired me to explore language in depth. So it can be anything that you like. Or you can also say that I'm a determined fan of dash dash dash. I'm a determined fan of dash dash dash. So accordingly, you can make a sentence. But yes, if you say that ardent, then you need not write determined. If you write determined, then you need not put ardent. So that means you can say that a determined fan of or an ardent fan of. Okay. Please look into what article that you're going to use. It matters a lot. If you are using an article in a sentence, it should be grammatically correct here. Okay. So next phrase here is a great lover of. For example, he's a great lover of cricket. I can also say that he's a great lover of language. It can be. It depends on you. It depends on you. Now, if you really want to have short-term pleasure or you're looking for something that helps you to improve your life as a whole. Am I right? So if you really want to become a lover, better you become a great lover of books. If you are thinking to improve yourself in the future, if you really want to have a bright future. So don't just look into the bright word. If you use it for yourself and you can have a bright future, no, it's not possible. As and when you start making determined efforts, desired efforts in the right direction, then only you can expect to have a bright future. Okay, so bright future does not come only with the blessings. It also comes with the hard work. So two things are going on simultaneously. One is hard work and of course blessings. So if you move ahead, if you proceed ahead in your life with making painstaking efforts, tiresome efforts, by default you will be able to improve your communication skills to a great extent. Okay, so let us recall what did we discuss here. This was a great lover of. So what did I say? I'm a great lover of English. I'm a great lover of books. Whatever you want to say. Okay, someone may be a great lover of dash dash dash, something that is eatable. Alright? So you can be. You can use any sentence you like, but you can use this phrase a great lover of. He's a great lover of dash dash dash. The way you want to say, you can make it. Next one is absolute favorite. So I can say that mango is my favorite fruit. Rather saying my favorite fruit, I would say that mango is my absolute favorite fruit. Absolute favorite. So that means it is something like that without which I can't think my life, or without which I can't think to survive. Am I right? What did I say? An absolute favorite of. Similarly, you can replace this word absolute by using all time. Mango is my all time favorite fruit. So it can anything. You can use it any way, in a way you like. But yes, you can say that an absolute favorite, or you can also use it all time favorite. Is it clear? All time favorite. Please note that this is a hyphenated word. Is it clear? So what example that I had given you? Mango is my all-time favorite fruit. That like that. Next one here is I use aversion. Aversion actually means dislike. I use aversion. Aversion means dislike. So if I say that she has a huge aversion to her parents, malab, I mean to say that he or she doesn't like to meet with parents, or something they do not like anything about, maybe their behavior or overall temperament. So you can use such things, such phrases in such situations. So what was the phrase? I use aversion. Aversion means dislike. Next phrase here is it is clearly implied that. So as in when I use this phrase in my sentence, it actually means that it is absolutely clearly said to someone, but indirectly, not directly. What did I say? You are saying something in a clear manner, but indirectly, not directly. So if it happens, you can say that it is clearly implied there. So you are not saying what exactly you want to convey, but you might have quoted some examples, you might have tried to illustrate something to make people understand that what do you want to convey. So if you have done it, then you will say that it is implied that, or it is clearly implied that. So that means you have said something very clearly, but in an indirect manner. So sometimes we may not be able to say the things directly, people may dislike it, but sometimes we have to convey the message either directly or indirectly. Message has to be conveyed. That's really important. Okay, so the next one here is heavy or broad hints. This is heavy or broad hints. For example, if I'm not able to speak, a topic has been given to me by my faculty, then I would say that can you give me some hints? If suppose I'm not able to speak, then I can request to give me broad hints. That means I need more hints in depth. So rather saying more hints, I would say that broad hints or heavy hints. But I would say broad hints or heavy hints here. And the last one here is contrary to popular beliefs. So can I say that she runs, or I can say that he runs contrary to popular beliefs. A number of people in the society think like that. They want to stay against the traditions. I don't think so. I cannot say that someone is right or wrong, but to some extent, some of the times people challenge the things, perceptions, without having any scientific grounds. There is a problem. There's a problem. Correct. Do not accept anything blindly, but also you should apply your mind what to speak, what not to speak, and up to what extent you should speak. Am I right? It's very, very important. It's only a tongue that can help you to build a relationship, and it's only a tongue that is largely responsible if you lose the relationship with the others. Am I right? So, similarly, my dear friends, if I say that someone stands against the popular beliefs, I can say that he runs, she runs contrary, or I can also say that she stands contrary to. But preferable, I will be using a verb that is run rather putting stand here. He runs contrary to popular beliefs. So, my dear friends, I hope you must have enjoyed this session. This was very, very important session for you because I've discussed with you a wide range of vocabulary here. Please note that what we have discussed, let us recapitulate. Okay, the first of all, let me discuss with you what the topic was. The topic was like and dislike, where I wanted to cover vocabulary. First, what I discussed with you, first phrase I discussed with you, a strong preference. What did I say? A strong preference for. Next one was particular liking. She has a particular liking for. For. This is the preposition for. Next one here is highest reward. The highest reward for the teacher. So it depends how you are making a sentence, but you can start like this. The highest reward for a driver is. Correct? The highest reward for a teacher is. Something like that. Next one is an intense dislike of. If I say that she has an intense dislike of, then accordingly you can make a sentence. After that, we discuss the deep rooted hatred. Hatred means dislike. You're disliking something to a great extent, then I will say hatred. Next, we discuss get great enjoyment, and great enjoyment actually means sheer. So if I say that the sheer enjoyment, the great enjoyment, it actually means the same. That means you have enjoyed something a lot, or you wish to enjoy a lot to a great extent. So that means great enjoyment or sheer enjoyment. Then we discuss an ardent fan of. Then I discussed a determined. I didn't say determined. I said determined. A determined fan of. Okay, it's not determined, it's determined. Next, a great lover of. A great lover of means if I say that he's a great lover of dash dash dash. Similarly, you can make the sentences the way you like. A great lover of books is a great lover of research papers, is a great lover of newspapers. Whatever you like, you can say. Absolute favorite. So I can say that it's my absolute favorite fruit. It's my absolute favorite dish that I used to have as and when I visit this restaurant. So the way you want to write, you can use it. But please note that absolute favorite, all-time favorite, both are the same. I'm just replacing this word absolute by putting another word that is a hyphenated all-time favorite. And then I discussed with you a use aversion. Aversion means dislike. You dislike something. That means dislike. I use aversion. That means you're disliking something. And then it is clearly implied that that means something is said absolutely clearly but indirectly. Absolutely clearly but indirectly. And then I discussed with you heavy hints or broad hints. That when you require more hints about something, then I would say that I need broad hints or heavy hints. Okay. In the last, I discussed with you contrary to popular beliefs. As and when I say that contrary to popular belief, that means someone goes against them. So I can say that he goes against, but it may not be appropriate. But I said he runs or she runs. People generally run in my society. Something like that. You can use it. Verb that is yeah, that you're supposed to use is run here. It will make your sentence more natural, more meaningful, and of course highly effective. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very grateful to you. You are spending your valuable time in learning English from my sessions, and I hope to see you soon in the upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Enjoy learning with us. Enjoy learning with Arihant Career Group. Thanks a lot.